What is Fire Emblem Heroes even about, aside from gacha? It's Norse mythology. One of the main concepts of Norse mythology is that the universe is made up of 9 realms and the world tree that connects the realms together. Each story arc in this game takes place in a different realm. The first book takes place in Midgard, which is separated into the kingdoms of Asar and Emblem. You show up one day as a summoner for Asar, and together with your new friends, Alphonse, Sharena, and Anna, you have to defend the kingdom from Veronica. She's the princess of Emblem and wants to kill Asar because cursed blood tells her to do that. You defeat her, she complains about you having friends, and that's the day 1 story. The rest of the book is about Alphonse and Sharena wondering what happened to their old friend Zacharias, who disappeared one day. Turns out, he's actually this dude named Bruno, who is Veronica's brother. Before you get to do anything with this information, it's time for Book 2. Book 2, The Kingdoms of Ice and Flame. Oh no! The kingdom of Nifl is under attack by Surtur because fire melts ice. Veronica partners up with Surtur to destroy Asar because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but in this case, the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. Surtur loves burning things indiscriminately, so he's also gonna burn Emblem as well when he's done burning Nifl and Asar. He's powered up by the Undying Flame and wants to throw Veronica into the fire to add more fuel to the fire and continue to not die. So then this girl that you save has to perform a rite that gives her the power to take out the Undying Flame so you can finally kill Surtur and save some hostages. After 2 books, we finally get to meet the king and queen of Asar, and the king dies instantly. After all, this is a Fire Emblem game. This time, you're getting attacked by Hel, the ruler of Hell, which is the realm of the dead. An outer side of Lif and Thrasir, who were the first rulers of Asar and Emblem respectively. Actually, wait, that's not right. Lif and Thrasir, who are Alphonse and Veronica from an alternate timeline. They also had to fight Hel, but ultimately lost, which left everyone in Asar and Emblem dead. Hel gives them a proposition. Work for me, and I will restore your world. There's also Air, the daughter of Hel. She gets sent by Hel to work with the Asar gangs who ultimately betray them, but Air doesn't want to kill her new friends. Book 4, Leosafamer and Zilkalfamer. These are the realms of Light Elves and Dark Elves, but here, they've been repurposed into the realms of dreams and nightmares. So it's fitting that this book takes place in a dream. Here, you find out that Sharena had some history with every single character in this book. So back when Sharena was little, she and her friends went on an adventure to save the Dream Realm from the nothingness. To save the Dream Realm, Freyr and Freya needed the help of children to fight in this war and gave them nectar to become elves. Kinda messed up to have children fight in a war, but this is normal in Fire Emblem. But it's okay because these children weren't even wanted by their parents anyways. This one was tossed into a well, this one was left to starve, and these 2 had an abusive father. Obviously, since Sharena isn't an elf, she didn't drink the nectar and ended up forgetting about the whole experience. Back to the present. Freya ends up taking Freyr's powers over the Dream Realm so she can rule over both realms of dreams and nightmares. So Freyr decides to let the Asar trio kill him in order to take away half of Freya's power. Freya is completely distraught over that and spends the rest of the book tormenting everyone in her nightmare. And then she sacrifices herself to save her elves after they sacrifice their lives to serve Freya. Book 5, The Realm of Dwarves and Giants. Except these dwarves are steampunk dwarves who are only recently starting to get their shit together after a coup left the kingdom in chaos without a leader to guide them. Unfortunately, their new king, Fafnir, is going insane. Also, there's a plot twist with every single villain in this book. Let's start with Fafnir. He's going insane because the magic crown he wears rejects him for not being true royalty. Also, he's actually just a dude who got summoned here one day. Odor is not actually related to Regan. His family just so happened to live at the castle and actually started the coup by killing the king and queen, which kickstarted this madness and left him an orphan. He also hates Regan because to him, she is a spoiled royal crybaby brat. Also, he seduces this chick and we have no idea how that happened. Eitri is the twist villain. She wants to create weapons that'll rival the gods, and as such, wants to create a gun just like the one that we have. Her only successful attempt summoned Fafnir here, who then finds out that he just wants to go home to his wife and child. That can't happen, so Eitri uses Fafnir's crown to turn him into a giant steampunk dragon that Regan has to slay. Turns out, this was all a part of Eitri's plan to restore Nidavellir back to its former glory with Regan on the throne and Eitri at her right hands. Join me, Regan, and I will make your face the greatest in Korodai. But Regan's like, what the fuck? No, you killed my family? And instantly dusts Eitri, who apparently has lived for thousands of years and has always been the one at the right hand of the ruler of Nidavellir. So Veronica's back on her kill Asar business again because cursed Emblem blood keeps telling her to do that. But she doesn't really want to do that because at this point, she's basically friends with the Asar trio even if she won't admit it. Also, someone is trying to get Veronica killed. It's her childhood friend. There's this whole storyline where Letizia is using propaganda to slander Veronica and the Asar trio. Veronica almost gets executed, but we save her and then suddenly, Asar and Embla show up. They exist. Asar is this cool dude who turns into a bull, while Embla is this lonely chick who turns into a vampire bat. Embla has the power to possess anyone with her blood. She then possesses Letizia, who dies, Veronica, who survives after getting possessed multiple times, and Bruno, who finally dies. The whole gang is freaking out about Embla possessing their friends, which is when Asar gets some fruit from the World Tree to kill Embla. Unfortunately, Asar also dies because he spent too much time in the void where he had to rescue everyone when Embla first showed up. Veronica eats the fruit while Embla is possessing her, which causes Embla to die like a vampire in the sun. And Veronica can finally admit that she's friends with the Asar trio. Also, Ash can play the bass. I just think that's cool. Book 7. Welcome to Vanaheim, the land of the fertility gods. So this is actually a time loop story. You start in the future where this Time Lord destroys the world. Before you can die, you get sent into the present where you meet this chick Sather. You try and figure out how to defeat Golvig when suddenly she shows up to kill you. You can't escape, so naturally, Sather learns how to time travel so you can escape into the past. Here, you meet this chick Quasir, who's really lonely and falls in love with you. She's also like, notices your gun. Oh whoa, what's this? Since it's glowing for some reason. You then meet up with the rest of the Asar gang, who also time traveled into the past, and find out that Quasir is past Golvig, and is setting things up so she can become Golvig. You try to stop Quasir, but then Golvig shows up and sends you back into the present. Here, shit is going down. This girl, Hathor, who is Sather's sister bestie, is currently dying of snakes. Sather is told by King Njord that only she can put Hathor out of her misery. So Sather kills Hathor and is completely distraught over that and is then infected with snakes. Turns out, this was all a part of King Njord's plan to create Golvig because he was tricked by Quasir of the past to create Golvig. He then summons Golvig here to kill everyone in the room, only for him to immediately get dusted. Also, you find out that Golvig, Quasir, and Sather are all the same person. But wait, there's more. Hathor is actually Golvig's daughter, which Golvig infects with snakes immediately after Hathor is born, and then gets sent into the past to become Sather's sister bestie daughter, which also makes this line of dialogue relevant. And now Sather is going to become Golvig. So how do you stop this from happening? You go to Nerthus, who gives you some power. But she explains that since Golvig does this loop infinitely, she basically gains infinite power as the loop goes on. Nerthus is then like, notices your gun. Oh whoa, what's this? Since it's glowing for some reason. That's because the gun is also blessed with some of Nerthus's power to stop Golvig, but you always die before you get to shoot her. And since you're a part of this loop, your glowing gun also gains power. So Nerthus blesses your glowing gun with power, and then you shoot Sather to cure her of the snakes. You literally beat infinity by using infinity plus 1. And now that Sather no longer has snakes, she now has the power to kill Quasir and Golvig, but not before Golvig sends us into the deeper past before we can kill her. This is so we can say that the book starts with chapter 13 and ends with chapter 1. By the way, there is a Thor and Loki in this game. They're mainly just vibing on the sidelines. Loki shows up occasionally to instigate shit in the main story, but they're also responsible for a couple of side modes existing. This is probably going to lead up to one final book where you face off against them and the Allfather in Asgard. Also, they're goddesses, because waifus sell money. Okay, so this book just started, so there's not a lot to talk about just yet. But so far, book 8 is about the World Tree, and this group known as the Healing Hands. They hurt people now because their father said so. Today, we meet this girl who turns into a squirrel and works for the Healing Hands. She goes around between the Hands and the Asar gang, and both sides are kind of okay with that, thinking that Ratatoskr is still on their side. That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I don't think I can answer any of them.